So welcome back to another lecture. So today we'll be starting our series of discussion on indeterminate structure. So to start with, you might have already come across some of the structural analysis problems, as in case of analysis of stress in engineering mechanics, and how to do the bending moment diagram and shear force diagram in case of your strength of materials classroom, right? So problem is with these structures is that those structures are actually determinate structures. Okay, so let's recall the aim of the structural analysis. The aim of any structural analysis is to evaluate the external reaction, the deformed shape or deflected shape, and the internal stresses. This internal stress is nothing but bending moment, shear force, etc. Right? So you remember your problem of finding the bending moment and shear force. The structure will be given, then there will be some unknown reactions, and loading will be there, of course. So from the loading, you will be applying the condition of equilibrium, sigma fx equals 0, sigma phi equals 0, finding out the external reactions, and once you get the external reaction, you will be finding out the internal stresses such as bending moment and shear force, right? So that's your problem. So those problems are called as determinate structures. Okay, those problems or those structures in which only the equilibrium equation is enough to find out the or to solve the entire structure is known as determinate structures. So in practically most of the structure are actually indeterminate structures, right? So indeterminate structures are those structures for which the only equilibrium equation alone cannot solve the structures completely. Okay, so indeterminacy in a structure can be either external, internal, or both. So we'll see this in detail later. So let's see major differences between determinate and indeterminate structures. Okay, so first, of course, only condition of equilibrium is enough for analyzing a determinate structure. Okay, however, if you want to analyze an indeterminate structures, apart from condition of equilibrium, you will have to have additional compatibility equation as well as some force displacement relationship. Okay, another difference is that in case of indeterminate structures, the cross-section area and flexural rigidity have an impact on the bending moment and shear force value. However, determinate structures doesn't considers the cross-section area or flexural rigidity in order to find out the bending moment and shear force value. Okay, so talking about flexural rigidity, it is something called as EI value. It is product of modulus of velocity and moment of inertia. Okay, so it is a term which really combines geometric property as well as the material property from E and geometric property defined by I. Okay, another major difference is that in indeterminate structure, temperature variation can cause temperature stresses. However, in determinate structures, temperature variation does not cause any thermal stresses. Okay, another thing is lack of fit problem. So whenever there is a lack of fit, in case of indeterminate structures, it can induce some additional stresses. Okay. So talking about lack of fit is a production problem. Say for example, when you are manufacturing a truss, okay, if the length of the member is slightly more or higher than the required length, you will have to force and fit it to the required dimension. So this will cause some additional stresses. This will induce some additional stresses during construction. Now talking about the broad classification of structural analysis, this is important. So there are basically two methods of structural analysis. Any problem can be analyzed either using a force method or a displacement method. Okay, so talking about force method, in force method the actions are primarily unknowns. Okay, which means that as you solve the problem, the first answer you are getting will be a unknown reaction value. So once you get an unknown reaction value, you'll be able to find out other reaction values, and then you will be able to find out the stress resultant, and then you will be able to find out the deflection and all, and come thereby completely solve the problem. And talking about the displacement method, here the displacements of joints are the primary unknown. That means that as you solve the problem, the first answer you will be getting will be displacements of the joint. Okay, so once you get the displacement of joint, you will find out the other unknown displacements and also the reaction values, and then you can find out the stress resultants, right? Force method is also called as compatibility method, because in force method the unknown actions are written in terms of compatibility equations. And displacement method is also called as equilibrium method, as in displacement method the unknown joint displacements are written in terms of equilibrium equation and then solved. Okay, so talking about static determinacy, talking about types of determinacy, any structure will be having two types of determinacy defined for it. One is static indeterminacy and the other one is kinematic indeterminacy. Okay, so static indeterminacy implies the number of unknown reactions greater than the number of available equation. So number of available equilibrium equation is actually limited, say for 4 in case of two-dimensional problems and 6 in case of three-dimensional problems, right? So if the number of unknown reactions or support reactions is more than these numbers, then that results in static indeterminacy, and those excess reactions are called as redundant reactions. In case of kinematic indeterminacy, it is nothing but the number of independent translational rotation, or in some cases it can be also called as degree of freedom of the structure. Okay, so reason for talking about static indeterminacy and kinematic indeterminacy here is, like, a structure can be solved easily by force method if the static indeterminacy is less than the kinematic indeterminacy, and the structure can be solved easily by displacement method if the kinematic indeterminacy is less than the static indeterminacy. So more on this topic will be discussed in the next class. Thank you.